Come on my friends, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be showcasing a special build done by Andrew and Mr. Kisun.
Today we're going to showcase a new build, which is a LS Swapped Toyota Hilux. When this Hilux came to us, it was in a mess. It was basically a rolling shell with the engine sitting incorrectly, and it had the wrong transmission for the engine. No extractors, no exhaust, the plumbing for the radiator, no plumbing, no electrical, no fuse box. Nothing. So this van basically start from scratch. We basically scrap the whole van, take off cab, take out the engine, take out the wrong transmission, and did over the whole van. I'll give you all a little walk around on what we did. We did over the chassis, we did over the engine. Well, the engine was built over by Mr. Kisun, and the transmission was also upgraded by Mr. Kisun. The exhaust was fabricated by myself, the engine mounts, the transmission mounts, the fitting of the radiator, the brackets for the condenser, a lot to talk about. New crankcase as well, the correct crankcase, bumpers was repainted, the chassis was restored, the back bumper was also repainted, the transmission and the engine was also painted. We have airbox built by myself as well. A lot of fabrication, a lot of things to talk about on this, so you guys will see as we go along. So here we have the LS 5.3 mated to the 4L60E transmission. So when the vehicle came with us with the engine, Mr. Kisun did the right thing and start the engine on the ground, check the oil pressure, hear how it's sounding, and to make sure he's satisfied with how it's working, and he wasn't. So this here is the correct crankcase we got for the vehicle, and well, you can unscrew easy access to take out the oil filter here. We have clearance by the steering rack. When the van came, that was damaged, so we fixed back the line. We have it working properly, power steering working fine. Yo, ready to test run this thing up?
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, so we on the way to Granny right now. Just taking a little test drive, giving the van a little run.
Alright, so Andrew, tell me about the build. Like, what went on? How will you come across this van, and how it came into the garage and thing?
Well, the owner, he contacted me and he was like, yeah, there's some pressure here, and he wanna get the build going, and he wanna see something happening on the project. So I tell him, well, come on, talk to Mr. Kisun, because Mr. Kisun is really the brain behind this build. And come, wait, look at that river, boy, look at that ocean.
That's the view we're seeing right now. Way! Yes, I was telling me about the build.
So I tell him, come and talk to Mr. Kisun and tell him exactly what you want done and what not now. So he came, he talked to him, and we decided, you know what, we're gonna look at the van, assess it, and see what needs to be done. the engine, he decided that he want to start the engine, check the oil pressure, he want to see how it's songing and how it's performing. So he wasn't satisfied with what he saw, and he decided that he's gonna order down the parts for the engine and build the engine. And the transmission was also the wrong transmission, so we sent for the 4L60E transmission and we waited for that. It took us some time because most of the parts of this van we had to ship it in. When we finished the engine and we made it back to the transmission, new transmission and transfer case, we line back up the engine on the chassis, make back up the engine mounts, make up the transmission mounts, and see we line up. And when you were satisfied, we fabricated the dry shaft, the front dry shaft, the back dry shaft, the exhaust, we brought down the extractors, and we did the rest of the piping going back to the sides of the vehicle. After that, the scrap back up everything and prepare the chassis for paint up the engine, paint up the transmission, have everything looking nice. After that, we went back to the cabin. We stripped the underbody, we stripped the tray, we paint back the underbody in a nice glossy black, paint back the tray. The whole body of the vehicle was polished and buff because it was in a state. The engine bay as well. The engine bay, we paint back up the engine bay. The engine bay was kind of rusty. Paint back up the engine bay a little bit, rest back on the cab. When we finish out everything, rest back on the cab, pull back up everything. From there is where the hard work really starts. That's where all the little fine work, the little up and down, you had to run out the road, you had to go and get this, you had to go and get this fitting, you had to go and get this bolts, you had to go and get hose, you had to go and get lines. So that is where the work really starts. And then from there, we did, when we rest back on the cab, we did the radiator, we did the bracket for the condenser, we did the four-wheel drive shifter, we did the electrical, we did the wiring for the body harness, the wiring for the engine, fuse box. A lot of things was done. The whole front brace here was cut. I reinforced the below here and we built back this brace on top here, this nose cut here, and get back the grill to fit back original. So you know you don't have a chop up look now, you have the original look of the vehicle. Well, you can see the exhaust run out on the side here. We still had to finish the exhaust. We will probably do a little tip and he had to do a little rock sliders to finish up the side there. We'll get that done. And the airbox is connected to the snorkel. That was fabricated as well. The brakes and all the brakes in this van was in a mess. It was seized up. When you try to roll the van, it's moving. So all the pistons running service up, all the rear brakes service up. This is e-throttle, so we have the X pedal for the engine. We run back there inside the van and get the bolt up. So that's there. And AC, van has AC. And I mean, without Mr. Kisun, this couldn't happen. So I just want to thank the man. Man put a lot of hard work and his knowledge. He's a very, very intelligent man. Without him, this build would have never happened. Both of us put our heads together and got this project where it is today. And here we have it in Grand River River. And now it's time for the owner to enjoy it.